Hello guys, welcome back. Today, as you see, we have the semi-final of the WCS celebration event, and I'm playing against Salamangreat himself. I'm playing Chimera, as you will see, and unfortunately, I didn't notice that I was recording on fast forward, but I think it's overall good because it's less boring and I can narrate pretty fast. So, as you see, he's doing his standard Salamangreat combo, but with Code of Soul instead of the new mine, which means he plays the Pyro Phoenix build, and I open no hand traps. I was playing 3 Droll and Lockbird in my main deck in this list because of the local community that plays a lot of like Darkle Purely, all these FTK decks. I have one Kalijuki FTK player, so I didn't want to lose to them. And that's why I was playing Droll. And as you saw, the deck that won was Drytron. So what better card to counter than Droll? I didn't open any. So he's doing his full combo. He's going into Horse Prince, and is a way to search as Blossom if you open Lady Debug, because Lady Debug searches Code of Soul, which is the main target for Horse Prince. So now he can special summon as Blossom and add it back with Sunlight Wolf later in the combo. As you will see pretty soon, Ghost Rare Sunlight Wolf, that's why he's a god. He has had the Roar as well, so that means he's gonna search the Salamangreat spell that pops. And that's a pretty easy setup with Princess to go into Pyro Phoenix. So now he has As Blossom, known, Counter Trap, a spell that pops, and a nuke for my whole board. I start with Quaddle to add Gazelle, and he says that's the bad Gazelle, this is the good Gazelle, showing his Salamangreat. Patchwork for Us Blossom. Honestly, I didn't like the fact that I had to use it so early to bait us, but he counter traps my Gazelle, which I did not expect, to be honest. And in this case, it's not the worst scenario, but it's not the best either. I go into Performant to go into Fiendsmith line, and the other Performant can special summon back the Sword Knight. And now basically I have a way to do full combo, plus having some negates for the Pyro Phoenix. But he will insta use, I think, the Code of Soul after I add back my Chimera Fusion. I do not activate Sinister Necro because that's an extra body for him to destroy with Pyro Phoenix. I change Sword Knight to the Code of Soul effect, so I can summon Baphomet and Chainlink 1 Baphomet. If he chooses to Chainlink 2 Pyro Phoenix, I can negate Pyro Phoenix, but he chain blocks with Sunlight Wolf, but I still negate Sunlight Wolf to prevent from adding back any follow-up. It's not the worst place we can be right now, but we still don't... we still cannot commit to the Fiendsmith combo because we are locked under fusions thanks to Baphomet. But we still can make some boards. We make this Chimera to reborn in his turn and to rip out a card from his hand. So basically now it's an advantage game. I think it was a mistake for me to use Chimera Fusion this early, but I didn't have much choice because I still needed to bait out the last interruption he has, which is the spell. So now he uses to Monster Reborn and shuffle back some of his cards to Pyro Phoenix again in his turn, and I summon Diabels, which can be an interruption. I try to bait with Chimera to use his Bailings, but he doesn't use it, I think. And he summons back Raging Phoenix, so now I just attack for some damage, and he uses Bailings to protect. Now we have 2 cards in the hand, but I don't think we have any Chimera Fusion, yeah. Actually, the cards in hand were Fabled Luri and Diabels, and I didn't want to use them right away, just to summon 2 extra bodies, because I wouldn't add something very significant with Apprentice, and Luri would not give me any value, and I know that he wants to Pyro Phoenix me again in the next turn, so if he destroys all my monsters for nothing, it doesn't give me any value. But the graveyard setup I have with the illusions that cannot be destroyed by battle, and I have double of this setup because Baphomet can reborn from the banish and Chimera can reborn from the grave. So I am guaranteed that I'm not dying this turn. So I held him in hand, and I can do plays next turn if I top deck something good. As you see, he summons a bunch of bodies. He has Sunlight Wolf that can add back the charge, which is pretty dangerous at this point because he can use the pop effect. He goes for Gazelle, the wrong Gazelle. Mine is the good one, sorry. He goes all of his bodies for Pyrophoenix, which I think he will use a second one to pop all my board. Weasel summons Gazelle to my field just to trigger his Promethean. And Promethean triggers, he destroys my Guardian Chimera. He pops Sunlight Wolf, so he triggers Raging Phoenix as well, coming back with more attack. And now I have a very weak Gazelle on my board, and an illusion that is destroyed by battle, unfortunately. Here I try to summon with Chimera. He has Diddy Crow that he top deck for Weasel Draw, as I learned. And then I went into Baphomet into Master Tao, so when he pops it with charge, I can summon back the Diabelis and save myself basically. So now I have a turn, and he doesn't have a lot of follow-up for my turn, but I think he has added back the Ash Blossom, which is pretty dangerous. And now he goes into Hita, just to have Promethean access, and he sets a card, which is like, oh my god, man, not anymore. And this deck doesn't have bluff sets, so I know it's imperm. I cannot chain block, unfortunately, with Apprentice and Luri, because shout out to one subscriber that told me that Luri is mandatory. I didn't know that. So Luri comes back as chilling one. So either way, he imperms the Apprentice. I dodge the Promethean thanks to Chimera Fusion, and I can go into Baphomet. That obviously will get us Blossom. And all I have now is a Chimera Fusion and basically Baphomet Reborn. And I'm hoping that I can stall for a turn. Maybe next turn I can get some more advantage. He summons Gazelle, sends a Weasel again for follow-up. He links into Bailings, and that's the unfortunate part, that a Weasel can give me a link, and Pyrophoenix will burn me for damage, and I didn't have a lot of life points, so I would get burned for 2800 and I would lose. So that was very unfortunate. Going into game 2, I say it's okay. If I draw at least one spell card, I can win. Because all of my spells play around everything he has. It's either a fusion or a board breaker like Talents and Book of Eclipse, which is very good against his Link deck. So all I'm thinking right now is how to set up Simular's Fiend, because Simular's Fiend can basically end his turn. And he shows an imperm by accident. I unfortunately don't have a good hand. I only open monsters, and he has dumb imperm. So yeah, like a bit of spoiler alert, I lose this game, but I think it's important to show the games you also lose, because it's important to notice the mistakes you make. And here, the mistake I made is going into Caesar and not Link 2, because the Link 2 could summon Baphomet, sending Iris, searching Simular's Fiend, and I would have a negate of Sword Knight and Simular's Fiend, which would end his turn. But he bluffed Nibiru very, very well. Which is my mistake, because you obviously will Nibiru if you have just these two monsters on your opponent's field. So I didn't think this very through, and I think it's very important to show my defeat. It's my only defeat in that tournament, and shout out to him that won actually. Here, my Caesar is basically for like last thing to interrupt. Basically, if he has a choke point mid combo, I was thinking if I could negate Spinny, but if I negate Spinny, he activates Weasel from hand and negate Weasel, and then he has Link 2 plus Weasel, and he can continue his plays basically. So I basically wanted to force something. He goes into Link 2 and Stylo can bounce back. And here I realize I also made a mistake by allowing Spinny, because now he has an extra body that he needs to go for Princess, which is detrimental, and I get OTK'd. Because what he does is go into Raging Phoenix, go into double Raging Phoenix, and Weasel gives a monster. So when Princess pops this is 800 or something damage, 8000, sorry. So yeah, I lose. Thank you for watching, guys. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.